Okay, everybody, today, welcome back and greetings. I'm going to do some more of the art demo. This isn't going to be, by the way, every time, but I kind of want to work on this one some more. I guess you would call it abstract kind of art piece that I'm doing. And I apologize for the lighting. I need to get that better, but I think it's coming along a little better. I've also got a little bit of classical music in the background. Hopefully, it's not copywritten. See if I can get the adjustment on this a little better. Again, my apologies for how the lighting's going. See if I can get yeah, sorry about that. It's doing okay. I'm using my iPhone for my main camera on this, so sometimes it wants to adjust. Anyway, let's go. Of course, I think my pen here is trying to run out of ink today. Let's see. Okay, so I had to change my ink, and I don't know if I mentioned in my last video. I love to use, if I can get that in the camera. For some reason, I think it's backwards. Sorry about that. These are the Pentel Energel ink pens. And I mean, no special reason other than I just love the way it flows. I like the way I've always liked the way it flows. By the way, if you watched the last video, I've still got to get some more brush pens so that I can color in a little better. I did have my red one, more of that red one, but I don't actually see it. Let's see if I see it. So I thought I had my red gel pen, my red brush pen, but I do not appear to have it. So don't know if I'll be able to do any painting. I mean, not painting, but coloring in today other than some black. But I'm just going to go through and try to hammer out some more shapes in here for today. And this will not be, again, I didn't already say it. I'm not going to always do these kind of art demos. Maybe the next one I might do a character drawing. Maybe just do some copying of or my own rendition of a Disney character or Hanna-Barbera. I always liked Hanna-Barbera. Any of y'all like Hanna-Barbera out there? Or am I just too old for that? Got myself on my webcam in the small part today. Just because, well, it's not going to be that big, and I don't know if I need that in HD. Okay, let's smooth this. I don't really want to color with this one. Still got my black one, but I think this black one is running out of ink. This guy here is Struggle Bus. He's still got some ink left in him. These brush pens, I'm telling you, are the bomb when they work. I like them. This one is definitely losing its taste. This one is a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen. And I went to Hobby Lobby the other day and I saw a few of the black ones. I didn't see any of the other multicolors. Might have to go online to find those. And let's see. I think we'll do a little bit of shapes in here. Maybe color that one in right there. Everybody ready for St. Patrick's Day? I heard that some people like to do St. Patrick's Day at Mexican restaurants. And then what they'll do is, I'm sorry about the hand, they will go to a Mexican restaurant for St. Patty's Day and then an Irish pub for Cinco de Mayo. Sounds kind of sneaky to me. Probably a good idea. Just going to draw in some doodads here. A few little doodads. Doodad here and a doodad there. I do want to go back on live one night, do another live cast. Maybe as soon as I get some more people that want it. That way I can interact with the chat as well. I also might like to do some oil painting sometime. I'm a big fan of Bob Ross, as I know a lot of people are. And excuse me. He influenced me a lot as a kid, watching him on PBS back in the 80s and 90s. Randomly seeing him on there. And I don't know, I always liked his excuse me, I always liked his videos with the happy trees and he always had a good positive attitude to me too. And I would love to do some the wet on wet style paintings that he's done. I've done a few. Don't think I have any here handy to show. I would show some my phone, but my phone is being the camera right now, so I won't show that. But I have done some wet on wet, and if you didn't know that, that is the style that Bob Ross used when he was alive. That was the big style that he used to get his to be able to do those. I guess you'd call it iconic scenes that he did, where he would just do an entire painting in less than an hour. I also heard that he would do a demo painting of what he was going to paint. I think he gave them away. I think he gave a lot of his paintings away. He would do the demo painting, and then he would do the actual painting for the camera, which I always thought was kind of cool. But yeah, I just want to keep working on this thing a little bit. For some reason, I have got my camera backwards so that I'm actually seeing the opposite of what I'm doing on camera. I guess it doesn't matter. Hello. Little podium failure there. Let's do a little perspective on this part. Like and subscribe. You know what they say? Like and subscribe. How about that, YouTube? I'm going to do another parallel here. That's what I like to do, is just come around and do some parallels. Just like that. It reminds me of Bob Ross used to say, when you do something, you go, hello. Back thing is failing on me there. He would do a little. If you haven't seen any Bob Ross videos, you should go look him up. You can find him on YouTube or all kinds of other places. But he would do a little motion where he would go, and he'd be like, so you got to make that noise. You got to go. And I went down to New Smyrna Beach one time, and I was hanging out at the beach with some friends, and we went to the Publix shopping center to pick up some grub, some groceries. And there was a strip shopping center there, of course. And as we were walking along it, I noticed this little looked like an art studio. Like, oh, that's cool. That's like a little art studio. How about that? Isn't that neat? And then I read the sign, and it said it was a Bob Ross teaching school. Now, I don't know if Bob Ross actually taught there or if that was like one of his students' places, because Bob Ross used to have, and I think they still do it. I could be wrong, but they used to have schools where he would go and he would teach people how to do his style of painting. I don't know if he was in every session or if he had like, I don't know what you would call it, trained teachers, I guess, to do what he did and to teach others what he knew. But yeah, it said it was a Bob Ross school. I kind of wonder if it's still there. I should look it up sometime. If you go up to New Smyrna Beach and look for like a Bob Ross school, it may or may not be there. Now, here's the thing about this picture, excuse me. You could say, okay, I'm done, and you could be done. If that's what you want to keep it as, you could be done. A lot of times I like to just continue and just sort of do it until I feel like I've ran out of room to do stuff. Maybe I want to enhance these circles. These circles. Notice how these circles are not perfect. Kind of intentional. It's kind of unintentional. It's whatever you want to make it. I personally don't get into geometry when it comes to doing these things. You could, I suppose. I mean, if you want to get out your protractor and your ruler and make perfect lines and try to make up perfect shapes, by all means, I say go for it. But I tend to make mine more of a flowing kind of I don't know, is what it is type thing. By the way, I think I'm listening to Hannah's Messiah, if you didn't know that. Hopefully it's not copywritten. What else do I want to do? Right here, I think I want to make a whole bunch of little stripes. Just not perfect stripes, but just stripes. They're always going to go down like that. They're all going to fill in this little bitty space here. And they don't have to be perfect, and they don't have to stay within the lines. This is not first grade. You don't have to stay within the lines unless you want to. And in this case, I really don't want to. I really don't care. Sometimes I care. Sometimes I try to stay within the lines. And you can always go back. If you didn't like that line, just make the lines that you overlapped a little thicker like that. So you can cover up your happy mistake. Bob Ross fans know exactly what I meant by that. Bob said, Bob, as if I knew him, Mr. Bob Ross. One time, I believe, I either read this or he said it. He might have actually said it on one of his shows that he was influenced by a guy named Bill Alexander. And Bill, who I believe might have been German, I'm not sure. He seemed to have an accent that was not American. And before there was Bob, there was Bill Alexander. And I believe that he might have been a student or a mentee of Bill Alexander's. And if you go on YouTube, you can find a few Bill Alexander videos. I believe he is in, I believe he's passed away. I don't believe he's no longer with us. But I watched a few of his, and like following along with Bob Ross, I decided to follow along with Bill Alexander, and I created at least one painting by sort of doing not a copy of what he was doing. I just sort of went with a similar um, landscape, if you will. It was basically a mountain and a lake scene, and it was really cool. It really turned out well, and I liked it because it was a different style than Bob Ross. I mean, it was a different way of doing it. And there's also a guy named, oh gosh, I'm going to butcher his name, Wilson Pickard. Pickard or Pickett. I think it's Pickard. I just discovered him. Similar thing, similar to Bob Ross. If you look up his videos, he did what seems to be a little bit more still life stuff. I mean, he did landscapes too, but he did still life and he did all kinds of wet on wet stuff. It's really cool. I love his stuff. And I want to go back and kind of learn from him some too and watch some more of his videos. Trying to decide what I want to do with this little bit of white space here. Usually I like to make something that really kind of stands out in these. I don't really like this whole busyness down here that much. And that's the thing about these. You can go in here and say that, oh, I don't really like that part. You could just change it up. Like you could do this one, you could just extend this triangle out to here. Maybe you want to make that one a straight down one. What do we want to do with this boat? This weird looking boat thing. See what I gotta do back here. Almost making like some mountain type shapes of some kind or squares on top of squares. I remember one guy said that he thought these things that I did remind him of like tribal uh, pictures of some kind. And as I said in the last video, you could do these things just hours and hours. I am on Instagram, by the way. I don't know if I've got a link on my YouTube page yet, but it's Gene's Art and Life at Gene's Art and Life. If you go there, you can see a lot more of my drawings and such if you choose or don't choose. That's the beauty of art. You can do it or not do it. You can like it or not like it. In a minute here, I'll share some more of the painting or pictures that I have in this little sketchbook. I think I did last time, but I'll share them again just to show that this isn't all I do. There we go. Got a bunch of little circles going that way. That kind of helps it stick out and gives it some dimension, I think. I'm just going to color this black one in because I'm not a fan of this thing. I don't know why. I do like that. But I do some little bitty waves here next to the boat. It's almost like some sort of weird collage. What do I want to do with that little? I got a little road going on there. I don't know what I want to do with that. I kind of like that. I'm gonna make some perpendicular lines. Everybody remember what perpendicular is? I believe they're lines that intersect, if I'm not mistaken. Or lines that not intersect, but they could intersect. These won't though. No, no, no. They're just gonna come right up to the edge. Give that illusion. So that whole little space there is just full of awkward going lines. Look like my pointer was in my screen. Hopefully it doesn't show up on the video. If it does, my apologies. I did not see it. I'm trying to get used to how to do the two screen thing. Not that you need to see my ugly mug, but somehow I get Zoom to share the screen, and that's where you see that from. About a third stripe here just for giggles. I like it. I do like it. Very nice. Okay, let's do a shade in. One more shade in. What do we want to shade in? Hmm. See, sometimes I'll pull back and I just look at it, see what I think. And sometimes, like right now, I feel like it needs something and it needs a little more, but I don't know what it is. Not always hard to tell. I mean, not always easy to tell. But then you come back to it. You put it down and then maybe the next day you come back to it and you work on it some more and then you get something you like. For instance, I like this little swoosh here. I like this little sun little thing looking here. The road's okay. I don't know what I want to do with it. I kind of like these lines up in here. So there's things I like about it and things that I don't love about it. But that's where color can come in too, because then when you start coloring some things in, it sort of takes up a new life of its own. Let's color one of these. I like this one here. We'll color this one. We'll call it a day. And hopefully I'll do another video for too long. I'd like to get to doing videos once or twice a month at least, if not sooner. I guess the more likes I get and if I get any subscribers, I'll continue making them. Maybe the next one I'll try to make it a live video. It's just fun. Okay, let's get that one. This thing's about out of ink. Or whatever it is. Marker. I guess this is sort of a marker. It's mostly marker, I think. It's pretty much gone. Not only that, but it's sort of a different shade of black anyways than the gel pen. Not my prettiest shading in here. Didn't make that too pretty. And there we go. Anyway, that's good for now. Let's see. Said that I'd show some other things that I've done. I don't know if I got any in the back here. Let's see what we got here. This may be one of the few that I don't have many pictures in. Yep, that sure is. I think that I did just some random stuff. Yeah, this is mostly random drawings, but I did do Yogi the Bear. Did that off of one thing. And maybe next time we'll do a Yogi the Bear just for fun. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining. And until next time,